I think I'm the only American girl in here.
I was like,
okay.
I seen Jean Baptiste, and then
Oh,
y'all
God,
were
yeah.
posting Jesse, and I was like, oh my god,
Posting who?
Jesse Wu.
Yeah.
Oh,
the
Think,
ultimate
yeah, how
yes.
she posted
Yeah,
something
influencer.
French, like her
Yes.
song.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, is she?
So do you
Yeah.
guys all speak French?
Je parle un petit peu français.
Not me.
You speak better French than me. I speak a little bit of French.
Do you speak Kiki?
A little bit, yeah. So it's rough, but like here and there when I came with family members.
Yeah, no, I'm the same way. I barely speak Creole.
Creole
it's
at all,
bad.
What about you?
No.
No?
Absolutely
all.
not.
Really?
I'm
No French, no Creole?
Creole. I'm not even fluent in Creole though. Like Linda was putting me. Linda was trying to help me, but because I'm half Haitian, half Jamaican. But I was raised with
Yeah.
my Jamaican side.
Oh, okay.
So when I was younger, my cousins would tell me all the time I was fluent. I would respond back to my
Oh,
grandma.
wow.
But then when I moved and lived with my Jamaican side, I lost everything.
Oh,
So
damn.
it's very like I
Where
could.
were you born, Mo?
I was born here, Queens. Born and raised in Queens. Yeah.
I think we had that conversation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because I was actually born in Haiti.
Oh, you were
Oh,
born
really?
there.
Yeah.
That's what's
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, that's
I
dope.
came here when I was 4.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Dope.
Yeah.
I love
I
that.
bet you that was like a major cultural shift, right?
I mean, I ain't know nothing. I was 4.
Oh, okay.
But I mean,
You
yeah.
have to say, do you like have memories of
Right.
living there, or did you like go back every summer?
I didn't.
No?
I haven't gone back. My sister has. Like my little. I have 2 sisters. I'm the oldest, and my little sister has gone like one time, but I've never been back since.
Wow.
Have you've traveled like Haiti, Jamaica?
I've been to Jamaica. I've never been to Haiti. I want to go, but every time I've talked about it with my Haitian side, they're like, no.
Don't
Uh-huh.
do
Like
it.
there's no
Like,
reason to go there. And I'm
don't
like,
do it.
what?
My mom's going next month
Oh my
for
god.
4 months. Yeah.
Oh.
Wait, but I heard that there's a lot of things because I still have siblings there in Haiti, and it's like really bad, like the situation because of like
Yeah.
the president and stuff. So how was that? Like, I really want your mom to be careful.
Yeah. So I haven't talked to her in like a week, so I'm like not sure she's still going. But I don't know. We have our grandmother's house there, and she has a home there, so she has people there and like protection and.
Okay.
But it's weird. Like
Yeah.
it's a
Yeah.
crazy ass situation.
Yeah. That's what we always hear that. Always.
Yeah,
Yeah, and then the stuff in Iran, like this world, I'm just like
I know.
It's a mess. A whole mess.
crazy.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, y'all? You are listening to your Mental Matters podcast. I'm your girl, Mo. And for those of you watching, thank you for tuning in. We're back with another episode. And we have some very special guests here, my friends. And I want to have you guys introduce yourselves to the people. And I guess we could start with Linda, Bree. Which way?
All right. I guess we'll start with me since I'm right after Mo.
Yes.
Hey guys, I'm Linda. Am I supposed to say anything else?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. I guess I could just say that I'm a fashion and technical designer, and
Period.
yeah.
Okay.
Love that. Hi, I'm Amanda Bellany. Me and Mo went to NYU together, so we just graduated in June, May, something like that. And so yeah, we're in the mental health counseling space, figuring it out. I'm thinking about getting a PhD. Yeah.
Come on,
yes.
PhD.
Okay. I'm Bree. I met Mo through Mac, who you're familiar with if
Yes.
you watch this podcast. He's my mentor and my friend. So we met at one of his networking events. I'm in school studying to be in the mental health space, but more so in like the sex and relationship side of it. So
Oh,
yeah.
period. Oh, so this is perfect. This is perfect.
Yeah.
That's why I chose this topic when you asked me to be on. I'm like, hell yeah,
That's
do
it.
this. Yeah.
Yes, and I appreciate you guys all for being here. Yeah, I think this is probably the first, because there's been a lot of episodes, but this is the first time actually talking about sex, because I feel like, I don't know, it's weird. Sex may not be taboo like that now, because I feel like it's talked about a lot, but for me, it still just feels like uncharted territory. Like, should I talk about this? But it's like, yeah, this is a conversation that needs to happen, especially in regards to mental health and mental wellness and just health in general. So I'm excited. Yeah, the topic for today is sex, but before we get into it for real, I wanted to start off with an icebreaker. And it should be fun. I'm gonna ask y'all some questions.
Oh dear.
I'm gonna ask y'all some questions. All right, so we'll start. And whoever could just, answer. So I actually got this Q&A, this icebreaker from this source. It was Sophie D. Shout out to her. She has like a blog, and she came up with this really cool icebreaker. And so we'll go through some of the questions. All right, so for the first one, it is, do you prefer making out or cuddling?
A mixture.
A mixture. Come on, mixture.
Right. Facts.
No, I like making out. Yeah, I'm like, yeah.
Spit all over, making out, like saliva. Oh my god,
Tongue.
all of that.
Over cuddling, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
over cuddling.
I think so. Because I just fall asleep. So.
Got you.
Yeah, I'm definitely a mixture of both. Like, I don't like to. The thing is with me, I'm a little bit weird when it comes to making out. Like, I don't like too much spit. Like, to the point
really?
where I can taste your actual saliva. Like, that is just so gross to me. So, I like to keep it like making out just like at a minimal. Like,
Really?
yeah.
I'm the opposite.
Got you.
Really? Like,
I'm like spit in my mouth.
oh my god, that's yeah.
No, but I get it though. It's like I don't want to taste the person's mouth. Like
Right, what they
I get
ate,
it. So
like-
I'm very much like pro brush your teeth before you
Right.
before
Excuse
we
me.
swap and spit, before we spit in each other's mouth.
Got you. Got you. And I guess I'll say I feel like making out for me too, because I feel like I have to really like you to want to cuddle with you. Like if I don't really like you like that, I don't even know if I want you touching me like that. So like
Well, then I don't want to make out or cuddle at that point,
That
you
too,
know.
right.
So
I get that point. All right, cool. So we'll go to the next one. What's your type? Like your type of partner?
black
Come on.
first and foremost.
Hello.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I used to have a physical type. I think now it's more of like personality. Like we have to be compatible in like the way that we think, the things that we value. You
Yeah.
have to be like respectful of a lot of different like people, you know, like you just generally have to like care about people. So
Yeah.
I think that's my type now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd say for me, yeah, just like Brie, I used to have a type like physically wise, like my guy had to be like tall and stuff, and then I'd say like over the years, like they just kept bringing me red flags. So then I had to kind of like just like figure out and test out what I really wanted. So now I don't go for looks as much, but I definitely go for personality. Like we have to be on the same page about a lot of things and like, yeah, so I'd say like personality wise, like I go for like a guy that's like sweet and attentive and caring and thoughtful. So
That part.
Aw.
Yeah.
Period. I'm a huge like sapiosexual. So for me, I'm like big on intellect. Like I just want to learn. I want to soak up things. I want to have deep conversations. So it's really, really important that like you have a mind and that you are using it. Like you are using it in all different aspects, not just like, oh, like, you know, you have a job and you're like you're using your brain.
Got it.
You know,
Yeah.
I love me like somebody clever, like somebody, you know,
Mhm.
can answer a question. Like
Yeah.
what?
No, I second that for sure.
Yeah.
Like mentally, if you could stimulate me mentally, then
Yes.
yeah,
probably
that
definitely we'll get there.
Yes.
What are your thoughts on the woman making the first move? So that would be us, right? What are your
Yeah.
thoughts on us making the first move in relationship or with a partner or whatever?
I don't know. I just feel like at first I used to be all for that because like with me, with my personality, I'm a Scorpio. So I'm just like,
Come on,
I love-
Scorpio.
right. I love like diving in first and stuff. But I noticed that with that, just like men in general, I felt like they would take advantage of that and they would just like wait for me to just like do things first. They would wait for me to set things up, like set up dates. And honestly, I just got tired of that. So I feel like now, yeah, it's, you know.
Understood. Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like my most successful relationships have come from me making the first move. Like, um, I feel like when you don't, as a woman, you kind of just have to settle for whatever comes your way, as opposed to you doing the choosing. And I don't really like that. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I made the first move a few years ago. I was in like a years long relationship after that one, and my boyfriend that I'm with now, I kind of made the first move. I just like put things in place so that he would make a move.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Got you.
yeah.
Yeah, I would say that I guess I thought, like, I believed that women were supposed to be pursued. And so I was never really used to making the first move. But I realized with being intentional about dating, you sometimes do have to be the interrogator. If you like Bree was talking about, if you want, what you're actually looking for. So sometimes what you're looking for is the thing that you have to like be a little bit more hungry for to go after, and like, yeah, I'm gonna just talk to that guy because that's actually what I'm wanting, versus like a dude who's gonna like hit me up and DM, like be in my DMs, like talk to me first. Like that's the same old boring shit. Like you anyway, yeah.
Yeah.
Like what's bringing you here?
No,
Yeah.
definitely. Yeah. I feel like similar to Amanda, I feel like I was brought up that way. Like just seeing that. Like it was like,
Yeah.
or just hearing that. Like a guy is supposed to, make the first move or whatever. And so, but I think now I'll be like, listen, hello. I'll be like, hi. But it's like, you have to catch my eye. There has to be something about you that makes me say, I want to, talk to this guy. I don't feel like I get shy now, because before I used to be maybe a little bit more timid and shy, but now it's like I'll say something, or I'll start the conversation. So yeah, and I think that could be a cultural thing too, like depending on like your like culturally, that's just the guy is supposed to take the lead. He's supposed to, but things are changing now, which I like.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yep. And so next one, how important do you think sex is in a relationship?
Yeah, I think it's everything.
Right? It's like
Seriously.
the deepest form of intimacy. So what do you have if you don't have sex? Well, I'm not gonna say that, but it's very important, especially when we're young. I know one day I might feel different, but right now, I want sex.
Yeah,
Like,
that's true.
Got you.
Yeah, I feel like with me and my relationships, like if the sex is trash, like I feel like we can't continue on like
Yeah.
anything past that. Because I mean, I love having sex, and I mean, if it's bad, like I don't want to keep coming back to that. So I feel like it's very important for me.
Ooh, go ahead, Amanda. I had a question after that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely on the same page with these two beautiful ladies. I think that, that's the physical manifestation of our whatever's happening emotionally, right? And so that's important. That's an important component to it. Like that speaks to our attraction to each other. Like that speaks to love language. That speaks to communication, safety, consent. And so you learn a lot through relationships by like being together physically, right? So that, I am not imagining a relationship where I'm not having sex with my partner. Like if I'm in relation with you, we probably are, having sex or at least being physical in one way or the other. Yeah.
Got you. Okay. Cool. And I wanted to ask Linda, what makes sex trash? And for you guys too.
Well, me personally, trash sex, I guess like a guy not really paying attention to me, like my body. He's not, you know what I mean? Like he's not reading my face. He's not reading my body language. And I guess just overall, just like him not paying attention to me at all and just like getting his, like his own on. So
Just,
that's
like,
trash sex to me.
Yeah. Any other thoughts on that? What was sex being trash? What are other things that could make sex trash?
Just like rushing it, not enough like foreplay. Like you said, not listening to like the body language, no chemistry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the fragile male ego. Like it's weird because it's like a guy might be like, oh well, then teach me, and then like you're trying and they're not even listening, right?
Right.
So
Yeah.
it's
Come
You
on
definitely
now.
have to be open to like being critiqued, and because everyone's different, like not
Yes.
everyone wants sex the same way. So if you're not like, sometimes there are like nonverbal cues you can give, but sometimes you just have to flat out tell someone what you want, and you have to be open to hearing what a person wants. So
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I actually have a question.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you guys like when a guy is, I guess, like expressive during sex? Like, if he makes sounds, or do you guys like prefer the men like to be quiet during sex? Like,
Quiet means it's trash. Like if you're
Yeah,
not
like-
Yeah.
like saying anything, then it's just like, what are we doing? Like, how do I know I'm doing good? You know, if you're not reacting. So
Mm, that's
yeah,
interesting.
I'm about the dirty talk, the community, and like that's like before and after, you know, like I love praise. So
tell me how it was.
how am I gonna, like, I have to actually hear that. Yeah.
Right.
How did I do?
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. Like, if you're really interested, like, I want to hear moans, like groans. It doesn't have to be moan, but like groans. I want to hear you be like expressive with the sex, you know, like,
Yeah.
or else I just don't feel like you enjoy it. So, a lot of guys, like, they feel, well, I think that they feel differently about that. So,
Yeah, and I guess on the flip side, what about you guys? Are you guys very like expressive and vocal in that regard? Because
Yeah.
yeah. Well, yeah, I feel like oh my God, I feel like I'm very loud during sex. Like, if I'm really enjoying it, it's kind of embarrassing, but I'll just be like screaming and stuff. So, yeah, I'm very expressive.
okay. Any other thoughts?
So sometimes, so it depends on the, I don't know, it depends, because sometimes, because I'm not a faker, so the noises that I do make are very authentic. Like you know, like if you found the spot and you are like, you gonna know that I'm feeling something, like I'm, you know, but like porn, like fake noises,
Yeah.
stuff like that, no, that's not me.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think anybody should be faking per se,
Right.
but yeah, if it's good, absolutely.
Yeah. But I've heard a
Very
lot
vocal.
of women do fake it for
Yeah.
men's ego.
Yeah,
But
when I was
Yeah.
younger, maybe for sure.
Really?
Same here.
You never faked.
No, like, honestly, no.
Oh,
I
that's
feel
good.
yeah, because I feel like if you fake it, you know, like a guy, he's gonna keep doing that. I don't want him,
Exactly.
you know what I mean? Like, I
But
don't want to egg him
you know, I
on.
didn't know any better when I was younger. It wasn't necessarily that I wanted the same thing to keep happening. It was just like, well, if I don't, I'm gonna make him feel bad, you know?
Sometimes
it
they
was
need
that
to get
fear.
their egos hurt though.
Yeah,
Like, you know what I
absolutely.
mean?
And I
During
feel that way
sex, like,
now.
yeah.
Yeah.
right. Like, they think, well, like certain men, you know, like they'll think that they're all that, and then like they're underperforming. So
Yeah.
Got you. Okay. Cool. So, what are the things that turn you on sexually? I feel like we kind of touched on this a little bit. Well, I guess more specific. What are some specific things that turn you on sexually?
Okay, I guess I'll start then. I I heard this somewhere, and I think like it was like, no, it really resonated with me. Like, I want to know how much you're turned on by me, right? Like what I'm, you know, how I'm just like making you so hard. Like I'm making you, you know, so I love just like when a man just wants to ravish me, take me, have me, you know, need me. And I like,
Come on, Ravish.
yeah. Yeah, I like playing into knowing that we are in a space where we're experiencing something so beautiful and so great and fun with each other, and like the things I'm doing for you and the things you're doing for me. So that's like really the turn on. It's like knowing that your partner is like really into you and really into the moment and really happy to be with you and present and just very turned on. Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Well, I'm like, are we going with like the like physical turn-ons or like, you know, like things before? Because I think it's becoming more popular to like start foreplay before you're actually in the bedroom. So just like, you know, doing things for me, rub my feet, you know, give me a massage, make me dinner, like things like that. And then there's like the cuddling leading to the making out, then like that's the turn on, just the like build up of it and like hearing, you know, how sexy I am and things like that. So for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I'd say all of that, you know, like I love being spoken to. I want you to tell me how much you know what I mean? Like you love my body, you love like me personally, like my personality and everything like that. And I'd say for me, like physically, this is kind of gonna sound a little bit weird, but I love like scent. Like
I love
so
that too.
yeah, like if he smells really good,
Come on,
like
scent.
yeah, I don't know, just like a natural body scent. I get really turned on by that. So never admitted that out loud.
That's cool though. Body scent. What if it's
Yeah.
musty? Do you like must? Because some people like that. Some people get turned on by
After
like a
the
little
gym,
must.
Yeah, I heard. Me, no, not really. Well, I mean, it depends on how you smell.
That's
But
what I was gonna say, because some people's sweat doesn't smell bad.
yeah,
You know, and I
Right.
like people that have a good like natural funk too.
Yeah.
Like when you are sweaty and smelly, if it smells good, then I like that. That's a turn on too.
Yeah.
Because we are gonna get sweaty, you know.
Yep.
that
We doing
too,
things. So
Yeah, I think it's a biological, like almost like we're wired to certain
Scents.
scents. Yeah. Yeah.
this is PhD Bellamy talking.
Come on.
The pheromones. I
Listen.
smell
Right.
you.
Yeah.
Just draw me in.
Okay. All right. So, what is your favorite sex position and why?
Ooh.
Ooh, getting deep into it.
Oh my god.
For me, I'd say me just being on top. Yeah, yeah. Cause I go to the gym and I love working out, and I feel like I've always like just loved being on top and controlling how I get my orgasm too. So I feel like I orgasm a lot more like when I'm on top because I'm the one that's doing it, and I know like certain positions that I could do. So that's my position.
Yeah. Okay.
I kind of like both me being on top and him being on top. For me, it's just about like as long as you're like stimulating the clit, you know,
Right.
because and I feel like that's probably why you like being on top too. But yeah, same thing, so that I can control it. And then he's pretty like when you're with the right person, they figure out how to do it as well. So like when he's on top, like wrap your legs around him a certain way. It's just like yes.
Yeah, so for me, okay, we're gonna get a little
Come on, Bellany.
I was wondering who's gonna get shy. Seems like you're getting shy.
no, for me, I'm all about stroke game. And so like there are men who like it just feels better like from the back, or it feels better when you're, you know, when he's on top or whatever. Like, so I think it's for me more dependent on the man, what position I like the most.
Okay.
Yeah. But I think that one of the things that I found out too is that I actually really like sitting on the guy. So it's almost like a version of being on top but I'm like sitting on him, you know, because I
So
think
like he's in a chair and you're sitting on top.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
yeah, because I'm all about like how much of you can I have inside me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Okay.
Bellany.
Ugh.
Oh my goodness. All right, let me stop. Okay. All right. Okay, cool. So next one. And thank you guys for sharing. What are your thoughts about sexting? I think we talked about it a little bit. Like sending pictures, texting, sexy stuff. What are your thoughts about it? Do you guys like it or?
I love it. That's the part of foreplay starting before the bedroom to me. Like I'll send him a picture while he's at work, and yeah,
Come on.
You know?
That's married people stuff.
That's right.
we do live together, so
Yeah, I'd say like when I was in college, I was a lot more brazen with that. I would just send like whatever pictures I wanted to, like different angles. But I don't know. Now that I'm a little bit older, like I barely take selfies anymore. So I'm just like, I'm sorry, I'm kind of whack with the sexting. Like I'd rather us just like us talk and kind of get like that foreplay going on. So yeah, sexting is not really that big for me.
Okay.
No, the for me, voice notes,
Oh yes,
Oh.
yeah.
like yeah, voice notes, like I don't know, cause I feel like the picture thing is fun and stuff like that, but yeah, send me some like talk to me crazy on the voice notes, like
Right.
let's and then prove it to me when we're together. But yeah,
Love that. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, thank you guys for participating in the icebreaker. I feel like we pretty warmed up now, so we're going to get into the topics,
that's
with the
icebreakers?
questions. That was
I know,
icebreaker.
right?
But I feel like we kind of
That's
got into some of what we're gonna talk about anyway. But yeah, just to start it off, what is sex to you guys? Like in your own words, what is it?
Any interaction that leads to a climax, because it doesn't necessarily have to be like in person. Like there's phone sex, so like anything that leads to one or two people climaxing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like sex for me is just like any level of intimacy. Cause this reminds me of actually like this episode I seen of like Game of Thrones. Do you guys watch Game of Thrones?
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay, did you see the episode with Missandei and Grey Worm?
yes,
And remember when I think because Grey Worm was unsullied, so I think like with that they had their cock like
Cut off.
yeah cut
Right.
off. So they were kind of like experimenting and just like trying to figure out how to have sex, and they actually had like a really dope sex scene, I think. So I feel like it's just like sharing intimacy, just like any form.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. It's it's sharing our genitals, it's sharing our private, our bodies, and it's just again like I think like I said earlier, a physical manifestation of what's happening emotionally.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you guys for your responses. I'm sorry, I was like, that was a deep answer. I was over there like, yeah. You said that earlier, but I think it just hit different when you said it just now. That's so true.
And why did I say genitals? Oh Lord.
Yeah.
We're talking about sex.
Yeah.
Right,
But then
exactly.
I guess with that too, because there's some people who may not have any emotional connection. Like, what do you say about that? Because there's some people who can meet each other today, and then they may not have any real emotional connection with the person, but then they have sex. So I guess I'm like, does it always have to? It's not always, right? It's not
Emotional.
always right.
No, because it could just be like physical chemistry, like just finding each other attractive, and just
Yeah.
wanting to.
Yes. Yeah.
Right. Attraction is emotion. That's yeah. Or it brings up emotion. So yeah, like it could just be a purely like physical attraction, like oh, like I'm happy to put my P in somebody's V that I'm like physically attracted to. So yeah.
Not B&B.
Sometimes it's B and B, and sometimes it's P and P.
Right.
Sometimes it's all of it and none of
Whatever
it.
is clever, whatever floats your boat,
Yeah.
baby.
Right.
Yeah, get into it.
And shout out to our fabulous engineer in here. Hey, Wolf.
Yes.
Yeah, we have one male in here, so I'm sure you're soaking all of this up. Okay, so next one. How does your thoughts about sex now differ from your thoughts about sex in your younger years?
Ooh. I was definitely very close-minded. I grew up religious, so I thought that I was going to wait until marriage to have sex when I was younger. That didn't happen, clearly. But I think now I just look at it more of like a free thing to do. Like I feel like it like releases so many good hormones in us. It does a lot for us on a like health level. Just climaxing is great for you. So now I just see it as something that you do freely, hopefully healthily, and yeah, that should be enjoyed by everyone. I love sex. sex.
Yeah.
Yes.
I feel like now I definitely take sex more seriously. Not to say that like I slept around or whatever when I was younger, but I did have a lot of sex. And
I
I'd
love
say
it.
like now like I take it more seriously. I only have sex with like my like serious partners, like my significant other who I've dated for like months. So yeah, I just feel like that mindset has just changed from when I was younger. I just take it more seriously now.
Yeah, I think like Brie, I was also, oh, I'm gonna wait until marriage, and that didn't happen, and that is perfectly okay,
Mhm.
right? And so for me now, it plays a role in just like how I want to express what I'm feeling towards a person. And so if I do feel strongly enough about you, yeah, I am going to want to have sex with you. That's just part of how I want to connect with you, right? And there shouldn't be shame there, right?
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
I feel like I'm the opposite. Like I can't really build a like deep connection with you until I know that we're like sexually compatible. Yeah, because like I said, it's like a big part of relationships for me. I think it's important to have sexual chemistry. So I'm not saying like it has to be first night. Sometimes it is, sometimes it's not. It happens. But like, I think that I don't know. I just want to I want to know what type of person you are in the bedroom. Will you be like careful with me? Like like how do you have sex?
Yeah.
I need to know.
No, I understand that. I get that. And I guess for me, I guess I'm somewhat opposite too. I feel like I am a prude. I feel like most of my friends know this. My friends be like, girl, knock it off. How
Like,
old are
please go sleep with 5 men right now. Please.
they be like,
Like, we gonna
stop.
take you to the strip club. Like, we gotta take you
Strip
somewhere. Like,
club.
get you.
I'm
Oh,
telling you,
God.
I'd be like, because I feel like, and I guess I feel like maybe I've become a little bit more open minded as I've gotten older, but I do still feel like I'm pretty prudish where I want to like get to know the person emotionally and us connect on an emotional level before we have sex, and that could take however long.
I don't feel like that's necessarily prudish every time. As long
Yeah.
as you don't look at like sex and talking about sex and things like that
Right.
shamefully. I feel like if you need that, you need that. You
Yeah.
know. So it's just different needs.
Yeah. Okay. Any other thoughts? Everybody answered, right? The last
Yeah.
question? Okay. All right. And how do you ladies go about introducing sex in a relationship or to a potential partner?
Yeah, for me, I'd say I don't like to really talk about it that much. I like to just do it naturally. So if we're just like maybe in the same space together, I'll probably just like rub his thigh or do something.
Come
you know
on,
what I
thigh
mean?
rub?
Touch his body or something like that. I don't know. Like so I don't really like to talk about sex as much, but I love to just like initiate that physical touch. So
I think that because of the space that I'm planning to get into once I graduate and just learn a bit more, I introduce it as early as possible. I want to see your reactions to the way that I talk about sex. So, like, I think it's a funny story. My boyfriend that I'm with now, on our first date, I like told him, I was like, I had a threesome 2 weeks ago, and it was great. It was my first threesome, and he was like, okay. Like, all right.
I know this story.
Yeah. So, I just want to get like put it on the table. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, I think it's part of that communication, right? Like, do we have healthy communication? And so whether, and I feel like once we have sex, right, the conversation shouldn't end. And but yeah, I think like most of the time I am expecting again the guy to maybe, kind of introduce the topic, or just at least kind of make me feel like there's like a comfort level there, and then so like here we go, okay, like let's start talking about some things, like I don't necessarily, it doesn't necessarily have to be like how many partners have you had, or like some like, but just okay, what do you like just what do you like, just in general.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right, so next one. For you guys, on a personal level, how do you guys feel like sex affects your mental health?
Yeah. Well, I'd say for me, I've been celibate. I practice, it's weird. I practice celibacy like every here and there. So I'd say I've had sex for, I'm sorry, I'm kind of blanked out. What was the question?
No, you're fine.
I'm
How
just
does
a little nervous.
no, you're good. Don't worry. How does sex affect your mental health?
Oh, okay. How does sex affect my mental health?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm celibate right now at the moment, but I think about it like from time to time. I'd say I'd be lying if I didn't like sex. I do think about sex, but
Mm-hmm.
I'd say since I'm celibate, it's helped me like stay on track, so I don't really think about it as much.
Yeah, I was gonna
So,
ask if you like decided to be celibate for your mental health. Do you feel
yeah,
like it was distracting you?
yeah. So I'd say like actually like almost a year ago, I was going through like this really bad stage. And like these men that I was just dating, I've had sex with them, and I just felt like it was just leading from like one disaster to the next disaster. And it was just, my life was so chaotic. And I felt like, you know what, let me just be celibate, because I felt like just me having sex, like that was really making me super emotional and that was affecting my mental health.
Yeah.
And I'm a really cool person. But then I feel like when sex gets involved, then I start acting a little bit crazy. Like I get super emotional, I'm sensitive. So I'd say like from then on, like I made it like a point to just like practice celibacy and just not really think about sex like that. And I feel like my relationships, especially the relationship that I'm kind of in now, I feel like it's just gotten so much better, because I feel like sex is definitely the icebreaker, but it's not something that we really talk about a lot. So it takes a lot of pressure off of me.
That's good. Yeah, because I definitely feel like sex can like either build you up or like break you down in that sense.
Right.
Depending on who you're sleeping with, like what's happening outside of the bedroom, like it could sway in either direction. So for me, more often than not, sex is helpful for me just because I don't know, it's like a confidence builder of sorts, like having someone that like intensely attracted to you that like wants to bring you pleasure. For me that like is like a confidence builder. So it's mostly beneficial for me. I haven't had a partner in some time where I felt like the sex was like breaking me down. So I think I've been like lucky in that aspect. So yeah.
Yeah, beautifully said. Yeah, I think that, you know, from like a societal standpoint, I think maybe there is a sense of attaching your worth, and I'm like
Yeah.
kind of just now knowing the difference between value and worth. Cuz worth is natural, right? Like we all are worthy, and so we all are worthy of, healthy physical
Yeah.
intimate connection,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so I, when I was dating, I thought that, oh, like this is not, I don't have any value in this relationship if I can't provide my partner with that physical intimacy. But that's not true. That's a beautiful part of it, right? But my worth is not tied into that. And so detaching from that has really helped me a lot. I would say, yeah.
I love
Yeah, I
these
love that.
responses. Okay.
You're so sweet.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys all for sharing. Um, yeah, I was just trying to think if I could add anything to this. I think for me, similar to Linda, I've been celibate for a while. We don't gotta say how long, but I've been celibate for a long time. I've been abstinent. I haven't had sex for a while, but I think like thinking back to my ex, my um last partner, I felt like I guess I felt like I was kind of on an emotional roller coaster, like when because the relationship wasn't a healthy relationship, but I think when we would have sex, I would feel closer to him, but then similar to what Bree was saying, things that were happening outside of the bedroom, our communication, stuff like that, made me feel like I should stop having sex with this person because I feel more closer to them, I feel connected to them, but then things are messing up, and so now I'm feeling crazy because we just did this really intimate act, and now I feel like things are not going right. So I guess I feel like what you were saying, like it can be something that could make you just feel good and closer to your partner, and you can feel like positive things around it, but then it can also, depending on what's happening surrounding it, can make you feel a little all over the place. For me too, I'm definitely like an emotional person. Like I don't feel like I wear my emotions on my sleeve, but like when I'm emotional and it comes out, it's like, ooh, it's heavy emotion. So
and that's natural too. Like I've definitely experienced where like I've been like super chill, super cool when I'm dating someone and we have sex, and then my feelings get really intense, and now I find myself doing things that are out of character. But I feel like it's also important to learn how to like regulate ourselves in those situations so that we can like take what we need from it. Sometimes you're being manipulated and it has nothing to do with you, but other times we have to like take that control back. And that's why I say like when I'm single, I'll have multiple guys that I'm dating. I don't have to like sleep with all of them, but I'm getting what I need, like emotionally from this one, physically from this one, you know, so that I'm able to stay like on top of my emotions in all of my situations, you know what I'm saying? So that I can let it like feed me and feed my confidence and my ego, because our egos are important too, you know? So
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, like so it's about both things being in tune, like the physical and the emotional being in tune with each other, right? Cuz if you are not like emotionally connected, sometimes that will lead to bad communication, bad sex, bad, X, Y, and Z, and it carries on. Yeah.
absolutely. Ooh, that was good, y'all. That was good. Okay. And have you ever felt shame about sex? If so, how did you handle it or overcome it?
I mean, I'm a woman, so I feel like we've all had, you know, some shame around it at some point or another. Like I said, I grew up really religious, and I think like the biggest source of shame for me was that like I'm bi. I've known that I was bi for a very long time, but the things that I grew up hearing about bisexual women, like they just want to sleep with everyone. You just want all the attention. It's never enough. You're greedy. You're this, you're that. But no, like, and then when I was younger, emotional connections were even more important to me. I couldn't have sex without an emotional connection. So I'm like, I know that I have these feelings, but I'm being told that this is what that would mean for me. And then like, I don't want to upset God. So like, I felt a lot of shame around like just sexual desires and all that stuff, even like masturbating. I'm sure, you know, if any of you grew up Christian, you know, like the shame that was like instilled in us in that. And now like toys of one of my favorite parts of sex. So yeah.
Yeah, I just want to build off on that too, like masturbation, especially because I grew up Christian as well. That is so frowned upon. And you know what? When I was a little bit younger, that's how I actually started learning about sex in my body, like
Yep.
through masturbation. So, yeah, it's just crazy how like masturbation is kind of looked down upon, especially for women. You know, like
Right.
with men, it's a different story. Like, guys will literally like joke with each other, like, oh, like I'll go rub one out. Like, what? Like, women don't really joke like that. So, it's yeah.
We do now.
Yeah. I mean, well, yeah, it's part of that idea of sex being taboo, right? Like
Yeah.
still taboo in this country, this country that I love so much. Yeah, I think again part of the shame was the value that I placed in sex, like, oh, like my body is, my man's to have or to possess, and things like that. And so there was shame around that, because I'm like, I had to realize, no, like my body is mine. And it's what I choose to do with it. And so that was like really, really exciting, getting to that place. Yeah.
Absolutely. Love that. And yeah, I guess for me, similar to what Bree was saying too, growing up Christian, growing up religious, I think that's where my shame has come from, where it was like even to talk about it was like difficult. So I think, I mean, it's refreshing now to be able to just sit on a podcast with other women and to be able to talk about it and not feel like I'm clamming up. So I think like, we're, taking baby steps, but I think like just to be able to talk about it and be like, yeah, this is normal. Like we should, because years ago this could not happen. And so I think now, like, just being proud of that, to be able to talk about it and to hear other women's stories and just the liberation of women now about it, which, I hope to get to a place where I feel like fully liberated. I feel like, my process is slow, but it's steady. It's happening. It's unraveling over time. But I think like to be able to really just even have the conversations and to, help other women to be able to learn and grow is like encouraging for me. So because we trying to dismantle shame now, okay?
Right.
Because guys don't be having no shame.
That's
No
a
offense,
fact.
Wolf, but guys don't be giving a damn. They be like,
Right.
yeah, this what happened. Woo, woo. And I'll be like,
Exactly.
All the details.
what? Why we can't do that? So
Exactly.
yeah. And just a couple more questions. What are the benefits of having sex? And are there downsides to sex? If so, what are they? And I feel like we touched on some of them throughout the conversation, but are there any other things coming to mind now?
I feel like after I have sex, I just have like this glow.
Oh,
Come on,
You
glow.
know what I mean?
Okay,
Right. Like I'm
skin
just
glowing.
right, exactly. Skin glowing, hair
Smelling
glowing, right.
different. Mhm.
Smell different. And just like my overall confidence too, and what Brie was saying earlier, just like my confidence is just like through the roof because I just had my partner just like make love to me. Like I feel fucking amazing. So,
yeah.
You have a great day after that.
Right.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, not to be a Debbie Downer, but I think it definitely is like a high and low, peaks and valleys or whatever people say. Because it's like on one end, it's like, here's this beautiful thing. Like, it doesn't even have to be beautiful. Like, sometimes it's like messy and crazy and like all over the place, and that's beautiful too. But there's also the like, okay, honest conversations about STDs, honest conversations about consent, honest conversations about, and that doesn't dampen, that doesn't, make sex, that's not part of the bad thing of sex. But yeah, like STDs, like, stuff like that, like that's not fun. And so like we want to have like free love and we want to enjoy ourselves and connect, but there's a lot that comes with it. And when you are sleeping with somebody who maybe like you guys are on different pages or it's like different on a different space emotionally or maturity and whatnot, like it could get real messy real fast. And so that's kind of the part of it too. It's like up and down. There's goods and there's bads. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I think that's a good point. I think we promote safe sex on this podcast.
Yes.
Yeah. Right.
Use protection. Use
Yeah,
protection.
definitely.
And also, people sometimes accidents happen and people get pregnant. Even when
Yeah.
even when there were precautionary, they took all the steps. And so I think that is a good point.
You
And
get
just
pregnant off pre-com.
Right.
you can. And condoms could break. People do take birth control, but sometimes
That doesn't work either.
it doesn't work
right.
either, right? So I think you're right. Having those conversations about STDs, unwanted pregnancies, or just accidents that can happen while in the space is important too, so that people know like it's not all glamorous. It's not all, but people know that. But I feel like the conversation, we have to constantly remind like people like, yeah,
It's not all fun.
yeah.
Fun and like everyone's coming. It's like yeah.
I hope so.
Yeah. I actually have a question. So, like, do you guys bring that up when you guys are first dating a guy, or do you guys bring that up like afterwards, like after you guys have had sex
No, before.
before?
Like I said, I want sex to be on the table as soon as possible. That includes safety. So, definitely we're going to talk about all those things, even like condom size. I don't like latex condoms. Like,
That.
get me skin non-latex condoms. Just like conversations like that. It's very important to have. Like, do you have anything you're aware of?
Right.
And then if we are getting to a point of like wanting to be unprotected, yes, we're gonna go get tested at the same time and stuff like that. So yeah, as soon as possible.
Yeah, I love that. And that's part of it being a confidence builder, right? Because you're able to understand, listen, like, we need to get on that same space, like, maturity wise, where it's like, I want to be able to ask you things and believe that you're telling me the truth. Like, if we are, seeing other people, if we are sleeping with other people, like, I want to know. I want to know, did you use a condom with her? Did you, like, whatever. So if I don't feel like we can have those conversations, that kind of makes me feel like we shouldn't be
Intimate.
sexually involved. Yeah. I question the intimacy and just,
Absolutely. I agree with that. I think that yeah, but with those conversations too, I think that could be fear, like
Fun.
anxiety in but for some women, because I've heard some stories now where it was just like there's fear and anxiety around having those conversations. And I guess I feel similar. Like if I feel like I can't have that open dialogue with you, then maybe this is just not it.
Yeah,
But
we're
I
adults.
right.
Like, you should be like getting tested regularly,
Right,
several
regularly,
times a
right.
year. Like if you can't have that conversation with me, then that's a sign. Like you're being sketchy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like why does this make you uncomfortable?
Right.
So
Yep. And any other thoughts before we go to some sex facts by Dr. Dana McNeil?
no, I think we're ready for the facts.
We
Bring on the
ready.
facts.
And these are very brief, right? But I think they're just some interesting. I found this article online by Dr. Dana McNeil, who is a therapist. She's the founder of the Relationship Place. And she's actually specialized. She uses Gottman method. Shout out to Mac, because Mac was the only person I knew who was on Gottman. But yeah, she uses the Gottman method for couples therapy. And yeah, in this article, we're talking about sex. She's talking about sex. And some of the facts that are here says that sex boosts serotonin, right? So, yeah. It says sex boosts serotonin, which helps improve your mood and fight off depression. Additionally, one of the hormones released during orgasm is serotonin, leaving you feeling soothed from stress and anxiety. So that's one of the facts that she has. It boosts serotonin. And yeah, I think sex can definitely be a stress reliever, right? Some people literally that gives them the boost that they need for their day. And
That's me.
she's like yes.
It's my happy pill. Like, yes.
Yeah. And that's why I think like, I just admire like healthy relationships and healthy love and like marriage and stuff, because you get to experience that all the time. Versus, like, I mean, being single is cool. But like sometimes I'm like, oh my God, like I want to have my person so that we could go crazy all the time.
Right.
You can get that release on a more consistent.
On a consistent
level, right.
So you could
level.
both be your best self,
Exactly.
Go out into the world ready.
Exactly. Exactly. Right. And okay, the second one is sex leads to better sleep.
Wow.
Yes, she says sex also improves how you sleep. It's very common to fall asleep after sex because your body releases prolactin, or a hormone that helps you feel rested and relaxed. The orgasm also releases oxytocin, a hormone that promotes sleep. Since a lack of sleep can worsen a mental health disorder or increase your risk for developing one, better sleep promotes a healthier, more refreshed you.
That's true of masturbating too, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
You sleep better.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Is that on? No, it's not on here. But I've definitely, I think I've read that as well. And next one, it boosts self-esteem. So a lack of sex can be harmful. Oh, she says a lack of sex can be harmful, causing your self-worth and confidence to plummet. When you have sex, the feelings of intimacy with your partner, as well as feeling nurtured and desired, boost your confidence and overall well-being, which is something that Bree said throughout the episode, which is dope. And yeah, I could completely see that. I one day hope to experience it.
Girl, I'm telling you.
Yes.
Call me.
Yes, girl. I'm the first person I'm calling.
Be your
okay?
wingman.
Yes.
I
Get
don't
you
know.
some.
I have to stop you there because
Yes.
I feel like with celibacy, like I feel so fucking powerful. Just like
Yeah.
choosing that option not to have
Absolutely,
sex. Like I feel
yes.
fucking amazing.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's because it's a choice and you've had, experience and you've let, that side do what it did for you. And I feel like now, after you make the choice, then that can be powerful too.
That yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I second that too. Because I think yeah, I mean, that's not on here, but I think that, just from experience, I think it's definitely helped me to just feel just confident in my like decisions to be able
Right.
to decide, okay, like this is how I'm living my life and that's okay. I don't have to necessarily, engage, but that doesn't make me less than, or it doesn't mean that I'm missing out on something. This is just for a
Right.
time, and so I think that I agree with you on that for sure.
Yeah, and I think one of the things you were saying was like intimacy is the confidence builder, and it's like when you are able to have somebody to do that with and have that level of like vulnerability, like that feels fucking fantastic. But also when you are able to have self-compassion and vulnerability towards yourself,
Yeah.
that's also, so that's the thing with sex, because people have sex by themselves. So it's all in like vulnerability. Not having sex is about a vulnerability that you're having, that you're able to experience with your body.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think the last one here is it makes you happy. This is what she has. The cuddling and physical intimacy of sex also gives a boost to your happiness. Endorphins are one of the many chemicals released in the brain during sex. Endorphins are the neurotransmitters associated with the feeling of happiness, causing your mood to brighten overall as it helps lift depression. And so yeah, that was it. It was just 4, but I thought this was pretty cool. Like just reading this briefly, and I think we kind of touched on it throughout the episode,
Yeah,
like
those.
some of these
It
things.
was affirming.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. And so yeah, guys, I think that's it.
That was
Oh,
cool.
wow.
Yay! Thank you guys so much, and make sure you guys let the people know where they could follow you. Give your Instagram, anything you have going on right now that you may want people to know, and I'll put all of it in the description.
Okay. My Instagram tag is at Linda S. Garcia, and I have a business, small handbags and accessories. So you can check
okay.
that out. At Belladere, Beladere.
You guys can find me on Instagram, Mademoiselle underscore Amanda 93. It's gonna be in the description.
It
so
will.
I'm gonna give her the spelling if you can't spell Mademoiselle.
Yes.
My Instagram is BDFO underscore. I currently work for 2 dope Black therapists, 1 male, 1 woman, and they are both hosting retreats. So one is a Black Love retreat, and another one is just a reset mental health retreat in Bali. So you guys can follow me to learn more about that.
Yes. Thank you guys, and y'all know, follow, share, subscribe. Your Mental Matters podcast underscore my personal Molu underscore. And yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in and supporting. I appreciate the audience so much, and you guys, of course, for being here. And we're out.
Yes.
Yay.